Welcome back to the ESL India Premiership, sponsored by Omen by HP, HyperX, Intel, and brought to you by Nodwin Gaming and ESL. I'm your host, Aditya, and joining me is our resident Dota expert.
Resident Dota expert.
Yes, Angela. How are you doing? And yeah,
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. I'm very excited about this upcoming game.
mhm.
The players have been waiting in the lobby for about 10-15 minutes, and
This time, though,
excited
this time
about
they're
this
not
one.
as late as CS generally makes them.
Thankfully,
Yeah, I said.
thankfully, there was no OT today.
Yeah,
Fingers
just
crossed.
saved by 80.
Yes.
But yeah, the game, by the way, is
Yeah.
Nefarious versus the Council. And why don't we take a look at Nefarious? I like that. Addy Man in
Addy
the
Man.
house. Addy Man or Adi Man, however he likes to say it. But yeah, that was Nefarious for
Yeah.
you. Delhi team, right?
Delhi team, very close-knitted team. They had players playing in this team for quite a few years, actually. And recently they had a roster change, but they've taken up two close friends of theirs to join their roster. So it doesn't really seem like they are going to be having trouble. I find this team very similar to the concept of Team Alliance from Dota 2. In TI3, they were also a very close-bonded team, and they took it all the way. And I see that in Nefarious. I mean, they play a lot of coordinated Dota. They make sure that they know what they're doing at all given points of time. They also attend
They're
the LAN
friends
finale.
first, you would say? They're friends
I
and
think
family
yes, they
first, sort
are.
of like brutality?
It would be something like
Yeah.
that. They're very close. They even attended the LAN finale of last year in the winter season. Of course, they were pitted against Signify. So, it's just a sad ending to that. But talking about this team in general, I mean, as of now, they do sit 10th on the leaderboard. They're having a little bit of struggle. They've only won one game till now, and that's against Alpha Esports. Other than that, they have taken two severe losses. But they got to win another 7-8 games. So
We'll bring up the table
Yeah.
after the second team. Why don't we first take a look at the Council? The Council for you, a Bangladeshi team.
Yes, top team from Bangladesh, and you'll be surprised to know this team has been together from 2014.
Yeah.
So they go back a long time ago, and of course, being the top team in Bangladesh, they are very well known in their area. Also, they've taken part in a lot of SEA tournaments, and they're looking pretty strong. Of course, they had a bit of change in their roster recently. Lost Rider has joined in their roster, but apart from that, they seem to be doing pretty fine. They've been a part of the ESL India Premiership from the very beginning of 2016. They entered the Challenger Cup, and over there, after winning the Challenger Cup in I think the fall season, they made their way into the Masters League. So they're not doing pretty fine for themselves too. As of now, they sit 11th on the board, which is okay. Then
Why
again,
don't we
we only
actually
played
bring
like
up the
yeah.
while you can continue talking about them while we
All
bring
right.
up
So, Council, as you can see, they're sitting 11th and they're going up against Nefarious, who's at 8th. Even though, I mean, I wouldn't really take this board very seriously at this point because they've not really played that many games compared to Signify or compared to Team Boriza. So, everybody's standing continuously keeps changing depending on how many games they win or lose. As of now, but looking at Council at the 11th spot, they got to make sure to start winning a few games. And this would be, I think, the first game where they got to really get ready, because Nefarious is a very good team, accepted, but it's all close-knitted. It's all about understanding their gameplay and how they're going to take this game. Now, if Council is able to beat that strategy, because today's game is more about just both these teams have players that they have played with for a very long time. They've come with the experience of maybe not the in-game experience of complete understanding, but their bond between their teammates is very strong, and that's why this game for me is very crucial to see what really comes forward or what really comes ahead. The draft is going to decide a lot of things. The in-game 15 minutes is going to decide where this game is going to go and where they would stand once this whole game ends,
So
actually.
if the draft is ready, we could probably get it up on the screen. But in the meanwhile, Signify on that leaderboard looks
Yeah.
really strong, don't they?
Well,
a lot
they're
of
a
players tell me
powerhouse.
that they think Signify is unbeatable. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't really agree to that. I mean, every team who believes that hasn't really tried that hard.
Yeah.
Because when you come down to basic understanding of the game, I mean, you could say this even with Entity Gaming that they're unbeatable. But then there's always some team who will have a coach like Entity Gaming who will concentrate on the draft and tell you where exactly your mistakes are. And once you kind of understand where you're going wrong, you can always come back stronger and beat the strategy. Like Signified, definitely they are very hard to beat. But if you just go down to the depths of understanding their gameplay, you will find flaws that you can kind of counter.
Yep.
But it's all about
Exploit,
how hard do
basically.
you want to win. You know,
Yep.
are you happy just being number two because hey, you know what, number one's already
See,
taken?
this kind of reminds me of the 1.6 times where ATE was unbeatable in
Yeah.
1.6, but now CS at least. I don't know. I kind of want Dota to be like CS, where anyone can win at
True.
any time, and I think that's what makes it an exciting thing,
That's
right?
true.
An exciting sport. It's not like, oh, you see Signify, they're gonna win, like this thing. But yeah, the draft is live, by the way. A
Yeah,
couple
and
of bans have already happened.
all right.
I have no
So
idea which heroes are what, so I will
all
let
right.
you take over.
All right, so the council has decided to go ahead and ban out the Pit Lord and the OD, and Nefarious in the meanwhile have banned out the Omni Knight, the Razor, and the DK. The DK getting a ban there. I don't think the council picks the DK quite a bit, but you never know. They like to, of course, play a lot of push strat. They believe in the Nature's Prophet quite a bit, so I'm hoping to see whether the council opt to pick the Nature's Prophet. They also are very good at the Rubik. They like to play the Elder Titan. So I could see Council come up with a little different draft compared to what has been happening in the recent updates in Dota. We always see a Sand King, a Witch Doctor. But I'm hoping that because they are from Bangladesh, they have a complete different kind of meta that favors them in their country.
Yep.
They would try out something new. But Nefra is going to go with their safe picks over here. They love playing the Gyrocopter. Going to just grab him first before giving it away. This also makes me think that, I mean, we could have Council even pick up an Ursa, because the last time I saw this team play, they did opt to go for an Ursa, but we do see a Tusker ban as of now that's coming in from Team Council. Now they're going to make sure that they want to secure the fourth role very well for themselves. So they're just going to ban out the heroes that are going to bother them, and that's going to be the Tusker. For now, Council looking to take their first pick. They could pick up their two supports first and then leave for the majors later on. They're going to go with the Sand King as their first pickup. This also has options for them. They can go with the Earth Spirit. They like to play the Rubik. The Witch Doctor is still in the pool available if they choose to go with that. But they're going to take some time, because after this, Nefarious is going to pick up their hero. And 14 seconds on the board. I could see Council maybe go completely for a 5v5 lineup where they just take on fights rather than split pushing, even though they prefer split pushing. But this also makes me think that if they opt to go for the Ursa, they could even pick up a Dazzle at the secondary support and maybe take an early Rosh and then head into a quick push in the mid lane. I am talking Spanish to you.
Yeah, Greek and Latin and every other language I do not understand, but I'm sure all our Dota viewers understand you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like Vagish and just speak nonsense. I'm not gonna burden you with that. I'm just
Well,
gonna. It's okay. Like,
yeah.
even if there isn't much action happening in the draft, we could talk about something else
Yeah.
always if that's what you choose.
So
But
the
yeah, there's another
Jakiro,
pick.
I love the Jakiro. He's not really been picked that much in the ESL in the Premiership. I think only about 2 games before this I've seen the Jakiro, and I really like this pickup because he's amazing at split push. He does a lot of damage to buildings. But Council sticking to the main draft of. Sticking to the main pickups of this special update of 7.13, they're going to go ahead and pick up the Disruptor. Now, that shows that they've got their two supports in line, unless they plan to send the Sand King in the off lane, but it's a little risky to do so because then you will be on a little bit of squishy grounds. Also, Nefarious picking up the Jakiro. They have that long range stun available with the Gyrocopter to initiate. They are looking to maybe pick up a tank to go with that, so they could opt to go for a Centaur, and ET maybe, even an Elder Titan could fit in. They could also opt to go for a Timber Saw. As of now, I've not really seen them pick up that hero. But for bans now, the Juggernaut's going to get banned out, and also the Nyx Assassin gets banned out by the Council. They want to make sure that the secondary support coming in from Nefarious isn't as devastating as the first. And to go with the Jakiro, I think even the Earthshaker would do fine for them. That also makes openings for the Death Prophet coming in the mid lane. They could go for that. Also, the Puck is still in the pool if they want to pick that out. Void still being available as a carry for the Council. Their draft is sinking towards a Void. They've got the combinations flying in for them. If they are looking to take 5v5 fights, that could work. This also makes me think that Council, if they plan on going more into damage than split push, they got to make sure that their mid is safe. But for now, with the OD ban, the Lina's ban, they could opt to go for the Viper. He's pretty tanky. He could hold their mid for them pretty well, and could be a good pick. But they got to take some time Tinker still available in the pool if they decide to go with that. Shadow Fiend gets a ban
You
there
know, the
from
most
Nefarious.
impressive thing about your knowledge, though, about Dota
Yeah.
is that you can actually figure out what those bands are from all the way back here. I can see pixels. That's it. I can just
You
see
can see
black and white
pixels.
pixels.
Oh, is that so?
Like I can't even tell. Like, is that a razor on the right?
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
Razor.
only
the
thing I
second
can
too.
tell.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
Razor.
razor band. Okay. Like,
Well, you just keep
and
seeing the same things all over again every day, so
yeah, I
they
mean,
get
it's
settled.
just impressive that you could even see it. Hey, that's a live stealer. I know
That's a
that.
live stealer, yeah, Ali.
Yes.
That's
And
pretty
the
good.
other thing I can say is Nefarious for now have 2 flying heroes. I don't know how it makes if it makes a difference at all in Dota, but they're flying.
Well, they are flying and they do a lot of damage from their flying area. I think that's how to put it for you, but
Yeah,
counts.
if they're flying, they have more range.
They have more. No, they actually do
That's what I
have
would think
more
anyway.
range.
But I'm sure that's not
But
the
they
case.
have skills that give them more range. Yeah, like the gyrocopter. And this is the noob stream for people who just want to understand heroes better than just
Welcome
the
to
normal
Dota.
dark. But with that live stealer coming in, Council showing who their really first position is going to be. We're going to see a lot of gangs coming in from this live stealer with the Sand King, maybe in bomb. I'm also hoping that now Council has shown us what exactly they want to work with. So they could go for a Puck as their mid. But Nefarious for now going to pick up a Bane as their secondary support. I like this pickup, but it
Oh,
also
that was
makes
a
me
fast pick.
question who has the burst coming in from Nefarious. I mean, they have the Bane, they have the Jakiro. That means their offlaner needs to be somebody who can. We have seen these 3 heroes, so we do know that Nefarious is going to go with this as their tri lane. Mostly, the Bane is going to be on the roaming end, and Chen gets picked up over there by the council now.
We don't see Shen very often, right, in the Premiership.
You don't see him much in even a pub or even a normal game of Dota.
Why is that?
Firstly, because he has to control units. He's more like I can control neutral creeps. Basically, those are just creeps in the game that you can take control of.
Yeah.
Now, that means you need to have a lot of understanding with group controls, be able to use the skill of multiple units apart from your hero. And he also is very squishy.
Okay.
So people can destroy him. So your positioning with this hero is very, very important. That also makes me realize that after Chen has been picked up, that it's going to be mostly a Sand King going in the off lane with the Disruptor and Chen walking around. But this is a very interesting for me coming from Council, because with that Chen pickup, if they do plan to just maybe enchant a Centaur or something, the Lifestealer could come in a creep. Like if you know Lifestealer, he can get into things and get out of things.
Yeah.
So it could be a very fun lineup coming in from Council. They want to make very tricky plays into this matchup. The Fairy is going to take some time. They need to be careful about their 4th pick. They've seen the Gen. They're a little worried about this one. They don't really know how to go against it. I'm hoping that they go with their mid pick for now and leave their offlaner for the last, because that's going to be deciding the mid of Council. But they gotta take some
Sitting
time.
a lot
again.
of reserve time, right, to take that pick.
Yeah.
I think has the Chen confused them at this point?
Definitely. I mean, anybody who picks up Chen only picks up Chen if you're really, really,
Good at
really
it,
good.
yeah.
It's like Nishant Patel at one time used to.
What could be a like, do you think they're just thinking about what do you use to directly counter him at this point?
You don't really need to counter him, but the fear comes in that you don't know how a Chen can play, because there's a variety ways in which a Chen plays, and when you see a pick like that which is not normally picked up, you got to question your whole draft. And then they go ahead with the best pickup, and they're going to pick their offlane. It's going to be the Doom. Now, if the Doom is able to doom any of these 4 units, and mostly in favor of Chen, because if Chen does survive, he does also heal the rest of his team, and that's a very risky bet for Nefarious. I would also opt maybe Nefarious going with an Oracle in the place of a Bane would have helped the Gyrocopter a little bit more, but it also must be that the player is very good with the Bane. And Doom getting picked up over there. It's going to be a stable off lane coming in there from Team Nefarious. They've got most of the draft sorted. They're just looking for their mid laner. And nowadays in the ESL India Premiership, most of the teams leave the mid laner for the last. It's like the most crucial pickup. But I kind of give the carry and the off lane more of options, because your carry is going to be struggling against an offlaner. So if you kind of give it off a little earlier, you're kind of making sure that you've totally lost your top lane. So that's again there. But for now, last 2 bans coming on the clock. It's going to be the Death Prophet getting banned out there by Team Council. Good ban. And this is where Nefarious got to be careful on what they want to actually give Council. If they do opt to give them the Puck or the Templar Assassin, it could be devastating. And they're going to ban off the Tinker. Don't really want to play with that split push, because they already have a Chen that's going to be hitting their towers really hard. but they're going to take their last pick. They could opt to go for the Storm Spirit also. Viper still a good option for them. Great tank coming in there for them, but going to take some time. I think they could. Most of the mid heroes are banned out here, so I'm mostly going to think it's only going to be a puck. It's got Queen of Pain. They could go with the Queen of Pain. I mean, it could work very well for them in their draft. It's very well synced. Good mobility coming in from the hero fares well, even if there's a puck opposite. Because Elena is already banned out. But the Klings, okay. I was expecting Nefarious to play a standard draft and the council replying with something else. But I'm really excited about this one. I mean, with the Klings coming in there, a little squishy, but since he's an invisible hero, this also indirectly says that the council needs to invest a lot into sentries and dust, which is something that no support player in role 4 or 5 really wants to do a lot. So Nefarious finishing their draft with the Klings, I like that pickup. That also makes me think that it's going to be a gyrocopter going in the mid lane, the Klings in the safe lane with the Jakiro, and maybe the Doom. And on the other end, we have Skyrath Mage, who's again going to be going mid, very squishy. Now, looking at both the drafts, I can definitely say that both these teams want to finish the game fast. Yep. That's one thing for sure. Another thing is that Nefarious have a much stronger draft compared to Council. I'm only going this by theory that when you talk about tanking, there's not really much tank coming in from the council other than the lifestealer. That means that your lifestealer is continuously pressured in the game to be in the front lines. And having your carry constantly in the front line leads to kind of, the team just completely relying on one hero. And that's a little risky.
So with the draft in mind, what do you think? Who is going to take this one?
I think I would put... It's hard. I think I'll put Nefarious on top by theory at about like a 30-minute game. Yeah. But I think Council, if they play that Chen right, that's their trump card. If they play that right, we could see a different game.
I'm assuming they've only picked it because they can play it right.
I'm guessing so.
The game is ready, so why don't we head straight into it and find out if that Chen does get played right and makes a difference. Vivek and Floki are ready to take you through the game, so enjoy.
Hello folks and welcome back to the ESL India Premiership. This is the summer season phase 1 day 16 and we got Nefarious facing off versus the council. My name is Vivek, with me is Floki. We're going to be taking you through this game. At Floki, chat, they've got their predictions going. Who do you think has got this one based solely on the draft?
I think the draft wise it favors the team council right away, but I'm not sure, man. Maybe they can pull it off. This mid Skyrath pick is very interesting. I think it loses the matchup against Klings, so he's gonna have a rough time. But he's also really good against heroes like Gyrocopter, and I mean just the entire kit of Nefarious. We just go to look at it, gets sort of completely screwed over by early silences, and that's what Skyrath provides really, that early silence, that ancient seal.
I made a prediction in chat and I said Nefarious have got this. But I want to look at my own prediction once again a bit closely because he got Len back in the squad. Len was their mid player earlier on in the earlier season. He went to Malaysia to study and I thought he took a break. But he's back and he's playing the hero that he's most comfortable with, and that's the Skyrath Mage at mid. He's going to be facing off versus the Bone Klings. I think this is a matchup that Len will be able to win.
I think so, but the thing is, like, you need a few levels to win this matchup if you're Sky. And you need to, like, just Arcane Bolt and back off, because if you stick around and right click, Klings will come ahead in that trade.
Right.
Yeah,
Arcane Bolt time and time again, I've seen Len play this Skyrath Mage, and he knows his matchup very well. He's been spamming it in his pubs. And you can see the pressure coming through. A B dropping low. Animal playing the 4 position Sand King makes a rotation towards the mid lane. And yeah.
Your bot lane too, this Doom's messed up the creep equilibrium a lot, so it's forced Gyrocopter to take a bunch of damage.
The Doom?
No wait, I mean the Chen, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, the Chen. The Chen did dominate one of the Radiant creeps and he pulled away. Got something going down bottom. 11x, he's gonna end up pushing the wave. I'm not really so sure actually, but yeah, 11x, like you mentioned, Did cop a fair amount of damage. He's gonna try and correct his wave. 2 range creeps on the bottom lane for both the Radiant as well as the Dire creep wave. So I think this will sort itself out. The question is who's really heading to the off lane. For now,
it seems like they just abandoned the off lane.
Yeah,
and Animal's just roaming the map.
Jhin is jungling.
Oh, top lane?
Yeah, Animal moves top. He's got the Burrow Strike, controls the Doom Eternity though. He's got the Scorch, so he's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're seeing a very Ice-esque off-lane Shen coming out from the council, yeah.
Man, this cat is just completely destroying the Clinks.
Yeah, exactly. I want to take my prediction back because this is a lane that Len knows really well.
Okay, yeah, Doom ends up on top.
Yeah, Len knows this matchup really well. He's played.
Okay, I think Abhi is dead.
Okay,
he has Fairy Fire. Okay, he lost. Never mind.
Yeah, but this lane is hard for Abhi, and even if he picks up the infused raindrops, it's difficult for him to approach the creep wave, and the raindrops aren't going to be available until the 3-minute mark.
Yeah.
So he has no option but to ferry out Sal's, try and get as much EXP as possible, maybe move around the map, apply pressure, but it's Nefarious who are the ones feeling the heat right now.
Indeed. Jakiro is going to move in mid to sort of help out the Clinks. He realizes that his Clinks is not going to have a fun time, but this leaves bot lane open for Jhin, who's here with Animal. So this Gyrocopter is going to have to be careful because he can fall very easily when there's a Chen and a Sand King around.
Yeah, they're going to go in with the Burrow Strike. They've got the Hellbear Smasher, the Clap is there, 11x. Being sent back to his own tier 1. Animal actually diving. He's got to be careful. Got the quick nuke coming up from the Chen, and Jhin copping a fair amount of damage from the tier 1 tower. Will not find the kill as 11x pops a salve and looks to turn towards Animal, who's got a salve running of his own. They've got the Rocket Barrage, and Animal only level 2. Doesn't have a point in the Sandstorm. He's going to end up falling.
Yep.
But yeah, this is classic council. Run some sort of an off lane, a dual off lane, and win your lanes, and that's where they start to take control of the game from. They're winning mid heavily. The Gyrocopter isn't getting as much CS as he'd expect, and I like this adjustment coming up from Nefarious. Just sending the Jakiro mid like you called it. He's gonna need all the help he can amid these Clinks.
Yeah,
and up top,
Eternity
gonna get glimpsed back. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, mid lane, the Jakiro.
Oh yeah, Adi man. Slowed by the Caustic, they've got the Arcane Bolt, and they'll bring him down.
Yeah, this Skyrat is just owning the side of Nefarious right now. Instead of trying to shut him down so early on, what Nefarious should try to do instead is wait for the level 6s, just try to survive the lane up until then and then try to turn around and kill. Because you look at Jakiro, he intrinsically provides no kill potential on the Skyrat mage.
Right.
Pain can't really do much, he can just come in a nightmare. The only one who can really make a difference is the Doom or the Gyrocopter, and they're not hitting level 6 anytime soon. So the right play for Nefarious at the moment, I think, is just wait it out. Get your levels on your supports, get your levels on your carries, and then try to punish the Skyrat mage if he dives a bit too deep.
Right. I think what they were trying to do with the Jakiro wasn't too bad, but then Adiman ends up falling.
Yeah, speaking of the Jakiro.
Yeah, they've got him with the Burrow Strike, they've got the Arcane Bolt, even the Ancient Seal. And there should be another death on the Jakiro. He's gonna drop an Ice Path as he ends up falling. They've got detection for Abhi as well, an Animal. Still has mana for another Burrow Strike. Len finds himself a double kill this mid lane. Absolutely falling apart for Nefarious here.
Indeed. That dust was good, and they didn't even give the Clinks a chance to pop the wand. He waited for the Burrow Strike, waited for the Arcane Bull to come a little closer to the Clinks, then Burrow Strike, so made sure that he can't pop the wand and survive. Eternity is doing okay in his off lane though. Level 5 minutes and he's level 3. The Doom. Although just as I say that, he might be in some trouble. Nah, he's just gonna run away.
Yeah, he's okay. How's the safe lane looking for Nefarious?
Oh, it's looking really awful at the moment. The Gyrocopter is 20 for 10. That's not the kind of CS you want to be at if you're a safe lane, Kaido. And the Shen, he's already starting to pressure the Gyro pretty hard. Has 2 creeps dominated, so he can push the tower if he wants to.
I think the good news for Nefarious is that all of them can fight early to some extent. They aren't particularly greedy heroes, and even though Council have got this slight advantage, we could see rotations just coming up from the gyrocopter, move to a lane, drop the call down, set up for a kill.
Yep, sure.
They've certainly, I mean, this isn't the end of the road for them.
Yeah,
it's
but
a 2000 net worth advantage. Klings, what are we looking at down bottom? Bane, he's got to be careful. He's got the Nightmare, but he's being run down by Jin, and he's going to end up falling.
Yeah. Klings has just abandoned the mid lane. He's going around trying to find some runes, see if he can get something else done on the map. And this Klings can't really lean against this guy. You're gonna try to bring him down, but it's not possible.
They've got the dual breath and the ice path. Len turns around with the ancient seal, and yeah, he's going to be okay. But up top,
lane.
Eternity finds himself the disruptor. This shouldn't be happening either. Susmoy, he's got a medallion, but can't really run down the Doom without any further control.
Yeah. Susmoy, I think he's gonna go for the Radiance build. Picking up that medallion early tells me that he doesn't want to get the armlet. And he sort of wants to survive against the Klings, right? Because Klings is all physical damage and is one of the few counters to Lifestealer who can just stand and fight him. Oh, the Jakiro.
But in the Radiant jungle, Lips of an Angel might be in a bit of trouble here as Animal's got the Battle Strike coming off cooldown, but the Council, they're not looking to dive.
Oh, Jin.
11 goes in, he's got the Rocket Barrage, but he's only level 5, doesn't have the call down. Animal giving chase, has another Battle Strike. But Jin is backing off. The Ice Path clips the Sand King. Animal trying to burrow his way out of there. Hasn't got one charges. Doesn't even have a one. 11 chasing, searching for Animal. Animal playing from the trees. 11 goes in, has the Flak Cannon, but he's the one dropping low. Jin with the Penitence does find the Gyrocopter. Another Battle Strike coming up from Animal as he might just end up falling here. And Audi Man with the Ice Path gets himself the Sand King as well as the Chen. Not really sure the Chen ended up falling, but this was a rotation coming out from the Klings. And
a good rotation as well.
Yeah,
oh, Skyrat Mage? He might have found the Bane.
He is searching for the Bane. He's got the concussive shot slowing down Lips of an Angel. Lips of an Angel will end up falling, but 11 might find a trade, and it is the dominating streak. The Glimpse though, keeping the Skyrat Mage alive. The Liquid Fire doing some work. Len, still alive, will end up surviving the concussive shot. Once again, slowing down 11, and here comes Jin. Ice Path will control the Hellbash Smasher. 11 trying to make a run, but it doesn't have the call down just yet. Then now the man got the Tranquil Boots and a Fairy Fire. So he's going to just try and get away from this fight. 11, 7-1 charges. Running towards the Tier 1 tower. Jin is running him down, but doesn't really have too much control. Lips of an Angel though might be in a bit of trouble. The concussive shot slowing him down. Ancient Seal, the Arcane Bolts are coming out. But Animal switches targets, goes for the Gyrocopter with the Mystic Fair that bring down 11. They're searching for Adi Man. They've already found the Bane and Len. Just running past the Tier 1 tower, finds himself a double kill as Eternity walks in, stares at the Skyrat Mage and ends up falling as well. What the hell are Nefarious thinking?
I don't know. Eternity had a free time top. He could have just stayed there and gotten his level 6, but felt the pressure to rotate early, seeing 4 heroes on the side of Council diving his Tier 1. I don't think that's a good rotation by any means, because now you're gonna have to walk back to lane, you don't have a TP, Tiva's on cooldown, and Lifesteal is just gonna control the lane. So, Doom literally shooting himself in the foot there.
Yep. He had his phase boots, he felt like he could contribute in that fight, but just TP's in and ends up dying. And Nefarious, they might lose Moya. The man will end up falling. Len with the Veil of Discord.
I was gonna say Nefarious have a good part in this game and is that the Klings has farm, but now the Jakiro just walks through the river and ends up dying.
Yeah, and Susmoy.
He's looking to go top. He can get a kill with the Doom, but the Doom isn't level 6 yet. So RP is gonna have to be careful. Might find the Disruptor though.
Yeah. RP, he's picked up the Blightstone. And Lips of an Angel smokes and moves up top. He's got his level 6, so they've got that Fiend script, but it seems as if the Council have read this movement. They're hugging the tier 1 tower, and they're just staying there. Len is just pushing out mid all by himself.
Okay, Lips
Up
of
top,
Angel.
Fiend script, they want the Disruptor, they will find Lost Rider. TPs are coming in. It is Len, and he's got detection. Abhi, he's got to be careful. Looks to TP out, the Mystic Flare is there. He does end up falling. Len, godlike at the moment in Eternity. Trying to keep Lips of an Angel alive. Lips of an Angel buying time with the Brain Sap, but the burst damage from Len, just a bit too much. Council, once again, just stomping all over their opponents with these niche picks. They might lose Jin though. Call down committed. Jin trying to run, doesn't have the hand of God. He's still tanky, and he's keeping the micro going. Dual breath will slow him down. The ice path connects, but the creeps blocking out 11, while Len wreaking havoc across the map, finds the Doom, but Jin will end up falling.
Okay, never mind, he will die. So I overestimated Jin's ability to survive there, but Jin once again, he's been fantastic on this off lane Chen. He's pressured the Gyrocopter heavily in this early game, forced him to itemize a lot differently. And this Gyrocopter is not at the position he wants to be in this early game.
Yeah.
And as a result of Len winning mid, the Clinks doesn't have much to show for either. He's sitting on Boots, Solrig and Aquila 12 minutes into the game when you really want to be having a Treads and maybe a component of a Desolator or Orchid if you want that. And Disruptor, once again, very good map reading right here. Drops the Sentry Ward just as he thought that the Clinks is coming closer.
Yeah.
This Observer Ward. Yeah, it's done so much work for them in this middle area. For the side of Council. It's about to expire, but it's paid its dividends.
But yeah, Nefarious, they're looking to punish this Lifestealer. They popped a smoke for that one, but Susmoy just popped the Rage and ran in. I mean,
Gyrocopter needs to be there. And speaking of Gyrocopter,
Jesus, Jin and Len see an opportunity in the other edge of the map, find themselves the Gyrocopter.
I mean,
these
are brothers of mass destruction. If you remember watching WWE, you remember
the Hardy brothers.
Yeah, the Hardy brothers. This is Hardy brothers in Dota 2.
Yeah.
Top lane, though they may finally find the kill, but nope. Abhi shows himself.
Nah. So I like what Nefarious are doing. They're popping these smokes. They're trying to punish the Lifestealer. This is the second time they popped a smoke and moved up top. The last time they found the Disruptor. This time they end up getting nothing done. They're trying to pressure for tier 1. They might not even find that. And what the hell? Adi man gets picked off at mid. Nefarious, this is really problematic. They've lost 2 tier 1s and they found nothing on the map and they're just grouping up.
Jin is still pushing bottom, by the way, so there's nothing stopping that push at the moment. The Gyrocopter does not have a TP. The Clink has a TP, but it's only him. They can try to go for this Chen, but it's going to make so much space for them top, and they can just rotate back top.
I think Nefarious, they've got to recognize the fact that Jin is going to have his Ag Scepter soon. And, I mean, once the pushes start coming with the Dominated Ancients, there's nothing that Nefarious can do to stop them. They've got to force fights now. They'll start with the Fiend Script, but the Power Strike will cancel it. Pain might just end up falling. The Stack Storm controlling him. Ice Path clips under to Animal, dropping low. 11 will find the Sand King at the very least. Lifestealer doomed up, turns towards the Doom, brings him down. Abhi in the middle of battle, looking to bring down the Disruptor, doesn't get too much done. And Lifestealer doesn't give a damn about the Doom, while Jin scoops in from the back, finds the Gyrocopter. Susmoy still standing strong, moves towards the Jakido, who's dead as well. Len just lurking on the sidelines, throwing out those arcane bolts, finds himself a bunch of kills in, well, at least one of them from the side of Nefarious will manage to TP out.
Yeah, super close there. Kinetic Field only provides vision in the center of the field, not around the sides. So that's why he was not spotted and didn't get glimpsed. Clinks is not having a good time, man. He's 15 minutes into the game. He doesn't have the ability to find pickoffs unless he has a Pain or Doom with him. And it's just so much commitment for the side of Nefarious to get that one pickoff. Even if you do manage to find it, for the next 100 seconds, it's going to be the Council who's going to be on the aggressive because you have a Skyrat Mage who's super
well, you spoke of the Council and the aggressive. Look at bottom.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to keep happening.
Yep.
The Gyrocopter needs to... Yeah, he's going for the first item BKB. He has absolutely no choice here. He's just gonna get destroyed by the Skyrat every single time. Who's finished up his rod of ATOS at the moment, by the way. I think the right course of action
in the previous fight.
Yeah, I think the right course of action for Nefarious might be to just 5v5 together, find a pick off into and convert it into a tower. And Abi?
Yeah, he might end up falling. Len moving around the map with the ADOS with detection, has the ancient seal on Abi. And Abi moves into the trees, waiting for the dust to go off. There comes the Jakiro, has the Ice Path and the Macropie. They want this Skyrat Mage, just a huge bounty on his head. And with the Fiend Script, they'll punish Len. Hopefully, it's Adiman who gets that beyond godlike streak. And Nefarious looking to turn. The Ice Path will help secure the kill onto the Disrupt Animal. In the Sandstorm, buying time, the Goddess Sentry, the Nightmare coming out from Lips of an Angel. But here comes Shane with the Penitence, finds the Bane, and Nefarious on the back foot, trying to run. I mean, quick 2-man Power Strike coming out there. They've got the call down as well. They're trying to bring down the Chen. Susmoy coming through 11 with the Rocket Barrage. One Shin, but the Hand of God buying Chin time. He's still ticking down low. 11 will fall. Adiman gets that last hit onto the Chen, and he's moved into the trees. Shakiro, all of a sudden with 2,400 reliable gold, running away from an ancient Black Dragon as well as the Life Stealer, will manage to TP out.
Yep. He's watched free to play. He knows what he's doing. He's gonna listen to the good old stay in the trees.
Yeah, he's
okay, mid lane.
Okay, mid lane. Len.
Yeah, I mean, comes back from the grave with a vengeance and picks up the Clinks. Let's talk a bit about what happened at the bottom fight. So as soon as the Jakiro laid down the Macropie, it destroyed the trees and blowed Clinks' cover. And if he didn't drop the Macropie, perhaps they would have found the kill onto... Perhaps the Skyrat wouldn't have found the kill onto the Clinks and they could have turned the fight around. But because he dropped the Macropie and it destroyed trees, the Clinks ended up falling.
Yeah.
So
I think he dropped the Macropie and Lost Rider just dropped the Static Storm in the vicinity and Clinks ended up falling there.
Lifestealer 2 is getting really close to his Radiance, so... The Council are reaching the first power spike. It's gonna be with this Radiance and then they can move into Roshan after they take this top tier 1 if they so desire. And then they can just group up and push.
Being run down here, Eternity does have the Drums of Endurance. He's got an Insnag coming up from the Dark Cloud Summoner, Stack Storm on the floor, and with the ADOS and the Mystic Flare, they'll bring down Adiman. He built up 4 staff, but that won't help too much versus the ADOS. Lips of an Angel gets glimpsed back. They're slowing him down. They've got the Arcane Bolts coming out. He's got a defensive Nightmare. But the Penitence will do enough, and Lips of an Angel will end up falling.
Yeah. I mean, this is gonna keep happening. You can't fight into the Skyrat Mage at this point.
Sorry, I'm calling Test of Fate Penitence. But yeah, they've got 11. He's looking to TP. He's gonna end up falling.
The Penitence combined with the Ancient Seal is absolutely ridiculous amounts of damage.
Absolutely. And look at this Council. All they got to do is group up.
You have a Veil, you have an Ancient Seal, and you have a Penitence. I mean, how dirty can you play if you're the Council at the moment? They've just stacked these amplification spells.
Things are getting dirty. Animal with the Blink Dagger has the Life Steal inside of him. They're going to find Nabi. Nabi is going to end up falling. Indeed. I think as soon as Eternity gets his Blink, which isn't too far out, they've got to make a play and start finding a pick off. But they might not even get that opportunity. They're going to be forced to either group up and fight at this tier 2 mid, or just let it go and probably find a fight after that.
Sure, you can jump in with the Doom 1% and kill one hero off, but what are you gonna do then? The Lifestealer has a Radiance, the Jhin, he has his Axe Scepter 19 minutes into the game, and he's dominated 2 Ancient Black Dragon.
19? He had it at 17?
I mean, sorry, yeah, 17 minutes into the game.
He had it a lot earlier.
Yeah, he had it a lot earlier, but the point is it's still a very early Axe on Jhin.
Exactly. They might... Adiman ends up surviving. Gets glimpsed back into the kinetic field. They've got the Arcane Bolts coming out. Quick Ice Path coming up from Adiman, but he's going to end up falling. Ancient Black Dragons along with the Lifestealer just knocking on the tier 3 here. Nefarious, they've got to stop the fight or they're going to keep getting controlled by the ADOS and they might keep losing more heroes here. Susmoy alive for the time being. The Enfeeble will slow him down. There's another ADOS. They're trying to share the Mystic Flare. 11 still alive. RB goes in. He's doing work. They have doomed the Skyrat Mage, but they will possibly lose Eternity. He's barely going to end up surviving. A being caught in the static storm, controlled by the Pulse Strike, will end up falling. The call down and the flak cannons, they're trying to bring down Jin, but they just don't have enough damage. The Hand of God keeping Jin alive, but the Ice Path and the Macro Pyre, along with the Dual Breath, they'll find the Chen at the very least. Len standing in that Macro Pyre, ticking down over time, but it doesn't matter. The GG, well played coming up from Nefarious here.
Oh boy.
As the Council, they found their footing.
Finally. I think this is the first win of the Masters League.
Yeah, they're looking really good. And
very aggressive draft and very synergistic as well. So let's talk about this for a moment, right? I mean, you look at the side of the Council, you have all these early aggression heroes. You have a Chen who just runs at you. You have a Lifestealer who's farming in the safe lane and is not going to die anytime soon.
Yeah.
You have a Sand King as well, who had a fantastic early game in my opinion. He set up the first blood on the Clinks. He went up, he was able to do something over there, zoned the Doom out a little bit, went bottom, got a couple of kills. And then the Skyrat Mage just went ham.
Yeah.
Len, he was moving in every single lane, killing every single hero, and this Gyrocopter had no space to farm.
Yeah, but
game,
you know what I'm worried about for the Council? They ran this last year as well. They love this Sand King, Chen, Skyrat Mage, but they only work with very specific picks. And let's see if they even get these heroes versus the better teams.
Yeah.
I'm also happy to see Len back. He had gone over to Malaysia, but I think he's back with the team. This is Council at their full strength here. I didn't see that's play, but either way, this is a very strong Council, and they're sending a very strong message here to the other teams in the ESL India Premiership. Anyway, folks, that's it as far as the Dota 2 broadcast is concerned for day 16 of the ESL India Premiership. My name is Vivek. With me is Floki. You can find us at facebook.com/VivekCasting or facebook.com/FlokiDota. Do hit the subscribe button. There's some good old Clash Royale, CSGO, and Dota 2 nearly every day of the week. And yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. We've got some quality games coming up tomorrow. I think we've got... damn, I lost the schedule. But tomorrow is exciting as well. Looking forward to what tomorrow has in store. But that's it for us as far as today is concerned. I'm going to throw it over to Angela as well as Adi. And I'd love to hear what they have to feel about this game.
Welcome back to the studio, and Angela,
Yes.
the Council in 21 minutes,
I commend this
wrecking
team. Yeah.
Nefarious. I think this is the first time you've got a prediction wrong.
Yeah.
And it happens in the life of an analyst. But what I want to say is, Signify, you could learn something from that. That is how to end a game quick. And I noticed one thing, that's the only thing I noticed. That Skyrath, he was wreaking havoc right in the start. Like,
now that you mentioned the Skyrath.
And the one other thing is, the only thing I know of this game. The one other thing, he had the Aghanim Scepter in 19 minutes.
Not the Sky, the Chen.
The Chen.
Chen.
Whatever.
Yeah, the Chen.
Somebody had the Ags really early.
Yes.
Is the only thing I know.
I mean, like Vivek and Floki were talking about the Hardy brothers into this. Completely true, man. Jin and Len, I mean, these two players have actually, this is the first time I would say this, that literally carried the game for their team. They were fantastic, and the top net worth was only 11K, but at the end of the day, I mean, if you just look at these two players individually when it comes to skill level, it was fantastic, and I took my time to go ahead and know more about these players. Now, Jin's signature hero is the Chen, and I came to know this from the chat, and that is fantastic. I mean, it's surprising to me that I did not know that coming as an analyst. I mean, he was amazing.
That's
on the
okay.
Chen.
You're from the Indian scene. He is from Bangladesh. You can cut yourself some slack.
I mean, yeah, okay. The next time I'm never going to make this mistake. But Len, on the other hand, now this guy, he, as of now, in the Indian Dota community, if you have to say it, he sits at 7,500 MMR, which is a huge MMR to reach. So we went a little bit of research. He's literally spammed the Skyrath page hero for 2 pages. He's so good at that hero that this was like a pub game for him.
Yeah.
It was just like, hey, you know what? I've got my best hero. I've got the mid lane, and it's against Klinks. Now, Klinks is very squishy. That's like 5 hits for Skyrath made after he's level 6.
Yep.
And that's what exactly happened. And this is also a time where, I like to state that Council played fantastic, but let's keep who won on one side and see who
Nefarious
lost.
was definitely not prepared for this game
They were
at
not
all,
prepared.
right?
More than that, they haven't really even studied Council. Because even if you study a team before a match, you will know what to ban. And you always ban out the best heroes. If you want a chance in a game, you got to make sure that everything that they're really good at gets out. So Jin's Chen should have been banned in the first go itself. They really didn't need to ban the Omni Knight, the Razor, because I didn't see them really being signature heroes for these kind of people. But they were signature heroes, and you're giving them the best, and then they are going to just stomp you ahead. And I mean, like you mentioned, Agnum Scepter on a Chen at 19 minutes, that is fantastic. They had a Lifestealer who was walking around with the Radiance. There was a there was a Skyrath Mage who was godlike in 11 minutes.
Yep.
That is just showing, they were just massacred. Nefarious was just massacred. And I think if they go back home, they should really check out more than the in-game statistics of what went wrong for them. They should really start understanding that this is a Masters League. You got to study your teams. You can't just come in and pick Klings, a Doom, a Bane, a Gyro and expect the same meta that's been happening with every other team. Council is not like that. Bangladesh should be very, very proud today to see that their best team just massacred us.
Well, we'll find out that's that'll be a Signify versus Council game that I look forward to now. Actually, it's turning into an interesting storyline.
Yes.
But I think that's about it from us today. This is the ESL India Premiership, brought to you by Omen by HP.